Good morning, guys. How is everybody? Today is sometime in the second week of January. It's been over a month since I filmed, and it's been about that long since I've been sick. I'm still a little creepy, a little froggy. You might hear some sniffling. Might be some coughing. I'll have to edit out maybe if it gets too bad. I've had a sinus infection or respiratory infection. I don't care. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm tired of being sick. I think everybody is. Everybody around here has had it. The flu, stomach bug. It's just run rampant around here, and we're all tired of it. And why can I not stop touching my face? I'm a little ill from being sick too, so I'm trying to reach this level. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Just saying. Anyway, I hope everybody had good holidays, good Christmas if you celebrate. We did. We had all of our family here, and it was nice. My brother came over. He lives over in Dallas, Georgia, which is about 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive. He and his family came over, brought their new grandbaby. We had a lot of fun. That was when I was beginning to not feel well. So, yeah, it's only been the last couple of days that I have not been to work because of this. Finally went to the doctor. So, a couple of my best things in the world are really strong antibiotics, and these little bitty pills. They look like vitamin E caplets called Tesla pearls. Never heard of them? They were prescribed for coughing. Work like a charm. I don't know. They work. That's all I can say. Yay for modern medicine. So, I didn't do a year-end wrap-up. I've done a lot of stitching because I haven't been able to really do anything else, but I haven't done a lot of anything else. So I'm just going to jump in and show y'all my plans for Year of WIPS, which I'm excited about, and we'll go from there. Y'all know these, you've all seen them. Excuse me. These are the Main Street series, Country Cottage Needleworks. I have them all. So far, I have one that's due this week, which I think is the post office. Except I had the gazebo, which I had planned to do as a topper for a ceramic dish that I have. And lo and behold, it's grown legs and walked away now that I wanted to start them. How does that even happen, people? I don't know. I'm going to go back. I was going through some of my stash and organizing, and it either got miscategorized and stuck somewhere, or it got trashed. I don't know. It's a distinct possibility for either. I did start on this, and I'm putting them on one piece of fabric, but that's not how they're going to be finished because I'm totally stealing somebody else's idea. Right now, I have it. I started and completed the coffee shop in like 2.5 days. Love the colors. I wasn't real sure about the oranges because I'm not really an orangey type girl, but I like it. I left off the top and bottom border because plans, which I'll show y'all later. But I think I have room on this piece of fabric to do about 6 of them, which is what I need. So I'm going to have to pick and choose wisely as far as which ones I want to put on here. And this fabric is 25 count Lagana in Sagebrush from Under the Sea Fabrics. And it was one of the fabric of the months last year toward fall. I really, really like it, and I like it for the background of this because it's a good neutral, but it does have a little color. So, probably my person will pick out which houses need to go on here because that's my life. She picks out a lot of my stuff. But she has good taste, and she's willing to help me work on them at 4, so I'll roll with it. I don't know when this will get worked on, but I do want her done this year. Michelle Garrett, are you listening? We had talked about doing this, sorry about that glare. We talked about doing this as a stitch along at some point. If you still want to do it, let me know. Anybody else want to jump in with any Jardin Privé, I'm guessing, designs, you're welcome to join us. I just wanted this one because it's Rose, and my person's middle name is Rose. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do this on a white. However, I have decided, it's my mail running. However, I have decided that I do need some form of Quaker chart in my life at all times. So there's my contribution to the Quaker world for the moment. And I'm trying to bag these back up as I go so I don't have such a mess. I left my threads out for, these are the 2 threads that I have for the Main Street series. It's just 2 classic colorworks, cloverleaf and, 4-leaf clover and cocoa bean. Haven't used very much of this. This is for, I want to say the rooftops maybe. I don't know. If I run out, I probably will not reorder. I'll just go with something that I have in my stash because it's not, to me, not really that variegated, and it's not that noticeable if you don't use it. This is one I think is going to be pulled out for a sale in one of the Facebook groups. I think in February. So I don't remember if it's Stitch Mania or something else maybe. Anyway, this is for Afternoon in Rome. Claire. Ooh. I've already done Afternoon in Paris. Got the threads. And I made a very small start with the fountain. My suitcases. The needle minder was a gift in one of my So Much to Love bags. It was an extra from Karen, so thank you for that. This fabric is a 32 count linen in, I want to say midnight blue or something like that. It's an MCG textile. I had it for years in my stash and I just pulled it out to go with. And the project bags that I'm using for most of these are something that I found on Amazon. Y'all have seen them before if you watch me. They're just little vinyl bags with a zipper on the top. And there's another zipper pocket with the mesh here in the front that I can keep my little Notions bags. Normally I use my Ipsy bags for that. And I did adopt Emily C's little tip of putting the luggage tags on and writing the project names, and that really helps me. So I haven't had any problem with those so far, and I really like them. So every year I try to give myself New year, new start for New Year's Day. I don't think I did that last year. I don't think it totally screwed me up because I'm used to doing it. This year I decided, you know what the heck, I'm doing it. This year I chose Emmy from Nora Corbett. It's one of the Bewitching Pixies. I think we've all seen this. I did not choose this fabric. I chose this fabric sometime last year for her, and then had second thoughts, and then thought, you know what, no, what the heck, I'm doing it anyway. Put this behind her. So this is where I got in 2 or 3 days. And I really like her. I decided not to do her skin over one, just for time's sake. I was working on her at work and I didn't feel like doing the fiddly bits. But the colors in here pop so much on this fabric. Fabric is called River Sticks. It's a 32 count Lagana from Under the Sea Fabrics from Leslie. And I'm really, really enjoying this. So I'll work on her some more this month. My needle minder, I think it's from Gina's Unique Boutique. So, what's next? All these are in my year WIPS. The ones I've shown you so far are, the goals are to finish. The goals are to completely finish. When I get into my hades, y'all know I love my hades. Gotta love my hades. I'll tell you the designated points for those. My next one is, yes, I'm going to show you the part of the chart because it's only a little part and I don't care. I don't feel good. I don't care. This is McKenna played Dr. I call her Dr. McKenna. And I'm doing her in beads, as most of you know. And this is where I am so far. I've gotten about 4 pages done. And I adore her. You can see the sparklies in the fabric. And the beads are sparkling. Woohoo! I don't travel with her anymore. She doesn't go to work with me anymore. Sorry, McKenna. It's getting a little too fussy and a little too big to work on her at work. Let's see if I can get her all in the frame. The fabric is 28 count Black Cold Sun from Color Cascades fabric. And I'm using size 11 delicate beads that I ordered from Fire Mountain Gems. And I absolutely adore this. I really need to pick that back up this week maybe. So that's McKenna. She needs to be finished as well. And she will be. I love her. Really want to get her done so that I can take her to retreat in New Jersey in May. Which, we're on the countdown, y'all. We're on the countdown. Everybody's talking about all these retreats. StitchCon's coming up. I did not register for that. That's in June, I believe, in Ohio, if y'all aren't familiar with that. Most people are. There's a wait list now, I believe. There's going to be a ton of people. But if you can go to a local retreat, do it. It's one of the best things I've ever done, and I didn't never do it until last year. And it was like maybe 40 people, about an hour and a half away from home. Drove there, spent the night. I had a blast, and I met all these people that are friends now. You know, you meet people that you talk to online and you see their videos, and then they become your friends, and then they are your friends, and it's totally worth it. And so I've already signed, well, I'm going to New Jersey. I'm so excited about that. But I've already signed up for Katrina Boyd's retreat in Marietta again, which was the first one that I attended last year. And that one's, I want to say she set it at 25 people, but I'm not sure that's what it'll end up being. If it is cool, if it's not cool. There's really there's no strict guidelines on her retreats, which I love. You come, you go, you stitch, you eat, you talk, you laugh. It's just a good time. And she puts on a great retreat. So I'm excited about those. I've already signed up for both of those. I don't know if there'll be any more in my future for the coming year, but maybe. Maybe. So my next WIP, I'm over this, y'all. My next WIP is, for Year of WIPs, is Stella. Oh, Stella. I absolutely love her. She's one of my oldest WIPs. And I can't say enough about her. I don't work on her enough. It's a problem. And here's where we are on Stella. Isn't she fabulous? What you doing, old man? Reese decided to visit. What you doing, old man? Are you gonna join us? You gonna join us? Thank you. My old man. He's about 10. You gonna stay or you gonna go? Thank you. Kiss. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Get out of there. Reese, go. Go. He's becoming deaf like an old man too. Anyway, Stella. Don't really have that much more to go on her. Well, comparatively. But my goal is to finish this current page here at the bottom for my Year of WIPs. That's my goal for the year. She's on a 25 count, 1/1, even weave. I don't know what it is, don't know where I got it. I started these so long ago, I didn't really keep up with that, and I think it was maybe an MCG textile or something. I don't know. I'm not talking to you, dude. Go lay down. He thinks I'm talking to him. Okay, next is my elephant. All I have right here printed out is the front sheet because I don't have the, I mean, I bought it hard copy, but I don't have it out right here. Excuse me. This is by, artwork is by Jo Lynch. If you've ever seen any of Jo Lynch's artwork, she does watercolors amazingly. And that's what this is. And you'll see how colorful this is. Very close to a finish. Head speak. Head speak. They pronounce it Hade. Whatever. My eyes see it and want to say head. Whatever. This is my elephant. Da, da, da. It's an old WIP too. And I only have from here to here. Now, compared to some, that's not a lot. I realize this. I'm doing this 2/1 10th stitch on 25 count. And it's not bad. It's a little thick, but it's not that bad. And I purposely left off all the spaces that you see in here. Those were originally filled in, as well as, it was basically a rectangle. It was filled in completely with like off-white, all of this in between his tusk and his legs. And I said, nope. That was many, many years ago when I said nope. I guess that's when I started changing patterns. But I love, love, love this elephant. It's supposed to be for my daughter, who says that elephants are her spirit animal. And by the way, can I just say this? I know a lot of y'all don't care. Roll Tide. Yes, I live 20 minutes from Athens, Georgia. Yes, that's where the University of Georgia is. Yes, that's where the Bulldogs live. I'm a Bulldog fan every day, until they play Alabama. And I would not have been disappointed had either team won. But secretly in my heart of hearts, I was saying Roll Tide. And when they won, a little after 12 midnight, I was jumping up and down in the bed. I ain't even gonna lie. Okay, enough about that, because y'all don't care about college football either. But here in the South, SEC is a way of life. Okay, next is my Halloween at Cochran Hollow. Everybody knows what it looks like. Y'all, if y'all have watched me before, you know that I'm kind of obsessed with this piece. Here it is, everybody knows. Most people have been starting over here in the top corner or in the center with the witches. I decided just to be me and do what I normally do on a full coverage piece and start in the top right. So I have now completed the belfry, the pumpkin patch, and the night worms, the glowworms. This block right here almost whooped my tail. I ain't gonna lie to you. It turned out beautifully, and I already have it rolled up in my Q-snap, or I would show you. Yeah, I'm not taking all this out because this is a lot of fabric. I'm doing this on 40 count, 1/2 doubloon. Picture this plus, I think. Maybe. So the next block I'm ready for is the Headless Horseman. I've already got my threads pulled. I pull my threads each individual block for this and just keep it with me as my travel piece. It goes to work with me a lot. And this is also my journey piece for my sampler guild. I've been subbing out a lot of fabric. A lot of threads for what I have in my stash. For a lot of Mo's Sale Silk and some other overdyes. But for this block, I just decided to go just with the DMC. Because when I get in here, and especially into this train tunnel, yeah, it's going to be on with the overdyes. Because I have some really good things that'll make for good stonework. So that's where I am on that. My goal for this year is to do 3 blocks. This one for sure. Maybe this one, simply because if I come down here and do the witches, I would have to do, my OCD would tell me that I have to do all of these. And that's considered 2 blocks. And then it would be uneven at the top. So I would, for myself, would need to do these 2 blocks and then complete the center witches block. That may only make sense in my mind, but for me that makes sense. Excuse me. One of my very, very oldest WIPS. I started for my niece when she was born. She turns 15. She turns 15 in February. I did get this out Monday and work on it for Mirror Monday. I have so very little left to do. And this is Angel Proclamation from Mirabilia. It's got a ton of beads on it. Here at the bottom where it says Angels Dwell Here, those are Cochran water lilies. That's the first time I'd ever worked with those. Fell in love. Never bought any more until recently. So I'm working over here on this last angel. This is all I have left. Let me show you where I am, because I did pick this back up the other day. And I put in about an hour or so. This is the piece. Angels dwell. They don't necessarily dwell here, apparently. But I put in, not that you can really tell, some more white in her skirt. About an hour's worth before work the other day. So my goal is to get this finished off. She will probably not get it for her birthday in February. Just saying. Now I did go ahead and bead all of these in previous years. The only thing I really don't like is this staff, scepter, whatever you call it. It looks wonky right there. I'm going to take that out and rebead it, because I do have a lot more experience now with beads. And it's crooked. It just is. So, but I do love the piece. This piece has been through a lot. It's had coffee spilled on it. Right there at the bottom where the word dwell is. Coffee. It washed out. So there's that. And then this is my second journey piece for my sampler guild. Notice I'm not really doing samplers. Is the Bliss Fairy from Mirabilia. I started this many years ago when my daughter was a preteen. She's now 22. I also started her with her companion piece of Petal Fairy on the same fabric, because I bought the fabric large enough. And at that time in Pensacola, well, Gulf Breeze, Florida, I had an LNS, which is no longer in business. I had them order it and cut it for me so that I could have enough for both and they would match. I finished one. I got about a little more than halfway through maybe halfway through the other one. Somewhere I messed up on her skin, which was not being done at 1/1. And I said, you know what? I'm done, because this is getting on my nerves. This is my Bliss Fairy. Yes, she's on black. It's linen. I want to say it's 28 maybe. So, Gerald, don't say that no one ever does things on dark fabrics, because we do. And let me tell you something. When that chronic and the beads go in on these wings, it is stunning. And I've shown my Petal Fairy done on the same fabric before in a previous video. So my goal is to finish her this year. Don't know when it'll happen, but it'll happen sometime. So this is what I'm going to pull out next week to work on a stitch along for one of the Facebook group stitch alongs. And this is from Paula Vaughn's book, Grandmother's House. Love Paula Vaughn. I started this many years ago, and then when I decided I wanted to work on it again, I found the pattern, found threads, found everything for it. Couldn't find, I couldn't find the pattern. Couldn't find the book. This is Growing in Love. This doesn't necessarily remind me of my grandmother. She didn't wear bonnets, but I knew a lady who did, and she wore bonnets and aprons and dresses out in her garden. And she was really close to my aunt, and so that's what reminded me of her. And so here's Growing in Love. So the goal is to finish this year. Probably half done, maybe. I don't know what linen this is. It's some that I had in my stash. I'm pretty sure it's an MCG textile because that's about all I bought back then. This has been ongoing for many years as well. So, and yeah, I'm really trying to clean as I go because I'm not in the mood, nor do I feel like cleaning up later. What's next? Geranium House. Country Cottage Needleworks. Couldn't find it anywhere. I had ordered it from 123. They placed the order and then let me know that it was discontinued, I believe is the word they said. And so they weren't able to process it for me. Okay, fine. So I went online and found it at Amazon. And I think it's scheduled to arrive here sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow. I'll put a picture in here. Geraniums are my favorite summer flower. We always had we always had those in the huge clay pots in the front of our house growing up. Our house is, my house was, let me rephrase that. I lived there from birth till the time I was 16. There's nothing like my house. My house is now has been redone, refinished, restored, and it is smashingly Victorianly. That's not even a word. Victorianly gorgeous. It was built in 1893, and we always had these huge clay pots of red geraniums on the front steps. We had hydrangeas and we had gardenias in the yard. Always. So that's why I wanted to do Geranium House. And I will start it at some point when it arrives. This one I'm not going to take off the Q-Stamps because I have been working on her this week. And I say her. This is Fairy Eyes, Heaven and Earth. Now, the first time I saw this, my daughter was probably 13 or 14. And my first thought was, how did you guys get a picture of her? And then I realized, oh, it's really not. My bad. I had to have it. I also had the background removed with their background removal service. They will do that for you. It does cost. Back when I started having it done, when I had this one done, I think it was $3. I think it's 10 now. I might be wrong. It might be more. I understand there's a lot that goes into that process. And you have to specify what exactly you want removed. The last time I did that was with one of Molly Harrison's witches. And I think it cost me $10 then. And then you purchase the chart. But This is, I call her Amber because she looks like Amber. And she'll kill me. Yeah, what else is new? I'm going to put a picture in of Amber here. So you can compare. Right? Now, just because it's taken me, 10 years to try to get to this point, somebody joked with me she could look back and, remember what she did look like when she was young by the time I get it done. Y'all, I'm a journey stitcher. I'm all about where I am working on the piece, not the end product. That makes people crazy sometimes. If, that's not for everybody, but it's the way I am. So it works for me. So I'm not taking her off the Q-snap, but here's where I am this week. I love her. So this is generally referred to around here as Amber's face. There is Krennic in her cheeks. One day she'll have the rest of her mouth. I told her until then she's not allowed to speak. That didn't work so well. But then the main part that I have left to finish is the rest of her face, and then this will be hair. And yes, this is in the days that I gridded. I don't generally do that anymore, but if I felt I needed to, I would. So, and the fabric is, I don't even remember what color it is now, but it was a blue from Silk Weavers because I wanted it to look like the sky behind her. So, she does have another eye in there. I love her. Of course, a peach because she's a Georgia peach. So that's what I've been working on this weekend. This little bit right there is all that I've got to finish that page. And then I can have a page finish for Full Coverage Fanatics. And also from Stitch for Stash, because I need that. Excuse me. All right, so I've been working on this kind of steadily. Y'all saw it last year if you follow me on Instagram. I think I posted about it some on here. This is obviously a copy. A Long Winter's Night. It's a Hade. Donna Gelsinger is the artist. So much confetti. So much. I love it so much. I have done maybe 4 pages, working on the 5th. There's the mantle, the portrait above the mantle, part of the bows. And over here we're getting into the tree and Santa. And yes, I park. Yes, they're messy sometimes, but it works for me. This is the tree. I'm sorry, this is the part of his rocking chair. Some of the baubles on the tree, some of the ornaments. And here we have Santa's beard. I love the candlelight. It just glows. And that's what I have on this. My goal is to finish this current page. We'll see. It might happen since I'm pretty much using this for Santa Sunday. I don't know if that's still really a thing, but I'm using it. So It helps me get a few stitches in on him and not let him get forgotten about again. So there's that. Let's see, what's up next? What's up? Oh, yes. This wonderful thing that everybody has seen. I'm not going to hold the chart up because we all know what it looks like. Everybody has seen Ginger Gerald's most amazing finish on this. Knitted Slilas Studios, Let Freedom Ring. Here's where I am on mine. I have not done the steeple yet, not done any back stitching, but once I do back stitch, oh, and I had done this section here and I had to frog it out. I don't remember why now. I think because I forget that I'm doing 1/1 on this fabric, and I'll pick it back up and try to do 2, and then I realize about halfway through that doesn't look right, so I have to frog it out. I've done that more than once, but I love it. I love this fabric. This is, I want to say this is 36 count, I believe. I ordered it from 123 and it was called Tyco, maybe. What was way lighter than this. And so I coffee and tea stain this a little bit because I wanted it to be a little more rustic. I didn't really need all the modeling, I just didn't really want it to be that light. So I darkened it up a little bit. So I'm going to be working on this year with hopefully a lot of wonderful people from Melanie Watkins' group. I'm also still in Brian's group. There's still some people working on that, I believe. So that needs to get touched at some point this month. And I'm anxious to do it. It's just, you know, you want to stitch all the things and then you don't have all the time. So where does your prioritization come in at? I mean, how do y'all make your decisions on what you're going to stitch when? Any suggestions? I mean, I've been doing this a long time and I've done rotations. I've done stitch when you feel like it, stitch on what you feel like. I've tried to do a stricter rotation. That doesn't really work. I will show you what I'm doing now. I started it in December and so far it seems to be working okay for me. It's only a month and a half in though. And I know myself, I don't tend to stick with stuff like that. So we'll see. So, the next thing, I only have 2 more. I had like 18. And I didn't do that on purpose because it's 2018. I know some people did. It's just what I came up with that I wanted to work on. This is Primitive Hare, White Witch. I love her. This is my self-portrait. She is me. Love her, love her, love her, love her. I did not buy the fabric for her. However, I had some friends, Donna from D Squared helped me choose fabric for this, and I'm so thankful that she did because I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This is, it's a 32 count and it's called Spice. I don't know who makes it. I didn't get a tag with it when I bought it, I bought it at one of our guild meetings, and I'm changing up her apron and her hair a little bit. I want the apron to be a little more rustic. So I'm using some overdyes that I had in my stash. The black is just 310. And her hair I'm using, I don't know if y'all can see the variegation, but it's called Frosty from Moselle. Because why not make her match me? And the best thing about this fabric is, look, I have a couple of friends. Look, is he not the cutest thing you've ever seen? He's so flippin' adorable. Didn't even know that till I started working on it. And look at these eyes. How could you not love this fabric? It's amazing. Probably some more look, more faces. This fabric was meant for me, y'all. Thank you again, Donna. She helped me choose that. So I'm totally in love with her. She'll be my dark 13 stitching. That along with Cochran Hollow, which will just come out and play whenever I feel like it. And then last but not least, y'all know I've been obsessed with the Brooks Books Princess series, even though y'all know my issues with those. Still running behind on those. Sorry. But they'll get here when they get here. I'm working on Cinderella right now. We all know what she looks like. Here's my version. I'll take that back. This is not my last thing. However, here's my Cinderella. Her dress does extend. I've taken to calling this the dress that never ends. In my best Sherry Lewis lamb chop sing-along voice. I did order, instead of the cry neck for her, that's not it. I did order some cry neck because I couldn't find a suitable petite treasure braid. But these will go on, as well as her beads. And there are a couple of spools of chronic, which I don't mind working with chronic, but I've never, y'all, confession time, I've never worked with these. Am I going to like them better than these? Time will tell. I don't mind working with these. I don't have a problem with it. I just wanted to see what these were like. I may not ever order these again. I may stick with these. And I hear everybody saying, you know, how much they love these and dislike these after working with these. I can't say that yet. I don't know if I will. But just throwing this out here. If y'all have spools you're not going to use, send them my way, because I will. I have no problem using these. Will gladly use these. But these are the two that go on her dress. And I think she will be sparkly and lovely, whether it's Rainbow Gallery or Chronic. Just my opinion. And then, very last but not least, for reals this time, I am doing a stitch along in one of the groups for Country Cottage Needleworks, Little House Needleworks stitch along, And because my geranium house did not arrive in time, I chose something I already had, and it's Patriot's Row. I've liked this for a long time. I say a long time. It came out in 2015. I didn't know it because I was still under the Hade umbrella, where I was happy to be. I just didn't know about this or these types of things. So, fell in love with this and decided, well, I have it. Now what am I going to put it on? So I went through my stash yesterday, day before. I've been working on it 2 days. Today will be day 3. And this is what I came up with. Not that you guys can see it. This is 40 count Newcastle linen, I believe, from XG Designs. Everybody knows who she is. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I had ordered this fabric sort of just as an extra when I ordered my threads for my nightmare last year. I got this piece and 2 other pieces, all 40 count. Excuse me. I never stitched on 40 count before I did my coffee Quaker, which was not one of her fabrics, but I bought some from her. And y'all have all heard Gerald singing her praises. I've been singing her praises just as long, if not longer. Not to take anything away from Gerald, because he's absolutely correct. Mine was mostly about her flosses, because that's what I stitched Nightmare with. If you guys have not purchased from her and can do so, do it, because this fabric is amazing. And I love my little houses. Every bit of this is from stash. None of them are the called for colors. I just pulled what I had because I thought I was starting something else right now. So some of it's Moselle, some of it's Color and Cotton. Some of it's just, this house is just DMC 816. And I love it. I have to finish my flag here. I love that the fences are weathered. That's a Moselle. A lot of them are Moselle because her flosses are extremely variegated. They're highly, highly variegated. And I'm able to use them, and that's what I want to do this year. Stitch from stash. So, and it's tiny. Like this is the width of the piece, y'all. Like, here's my border, but this is the width of this piece on 40 count. How flippin' cute is that? It goes on down a little bit, but how flippin' cute is that? So, that's my, I'm finding floss everywhere. It's not a bad problem to have, but not when you're trying to keep it all together. I've been doing a little organizing, which maybe a little too well since I can't find my gazebo from Country Cottage Needlework. Oh, I was going to show you how I've been keeping up. I'm a list maker. I like to plan things. I need to know what's happening next Thursday at 4:28 p.m. If we have plans, I need to know that. And if you tell me we have plans, to me that's set in stone. Don't come at me with this, well, I didn't know that was really our plan. It's a big pet peeve of mine. So anyway, I bought these little books. They're actually calendar addendums, I guess you could call them. Bought them at Michael's. The first of last year, I want to say, in 2016. They go into those big calendars that you can add things to. That's the holes. But I decided that they would be great for keeping me on task. At the first of the month, see, we have important dates and what you want to do, your recurring task, that type of thing. And then as you get into weekly or monthly, you have your monthly task. So what I did, let me go back here to the 1st of January. I wrote down all of the stitch-alongs that I wanted to participate in. Now, a lot of these are doubled because, you know, make your WIPS work for you, right? So, a lot of these are doubled up with the same projects. Okay, cool. But they're all in one place, and I can look at them and say, so, then you have weekly, and you set the weeks. They're not preset, so it doesn't matter when you start it. There's a place for you to write in whatever you're doing. Check it off. So I've gotten my stitch-alongs and what I want to do for each particular week. I only went up through January because I'm not trying to plan that far ahead. I know what I want to work on pretty much through, let me rephrase that. I've only written through January. Sorry for the reach. Does anybody else do this? Does anybody else make lists and try to figure out, because this was like from November when I was trying to figure out my crap. So if you guys have other suggestions about how to keep your stuff in order, how you know what you're going to work on, and I know a lot of people just work on what they want to work on when they want to work on it. I get that idea. I do that sometimes too. But I like to be organized in my stitching and know, hey, if I'm going to a stitching meetup, I'm taking this. Not what I decide to grab that day and then not be prepared. You know, that doesn't work for me. So, I have one more thing for you. Hold for a moment, please. Okay, I don't know why it stopped instead of just paused. Anyway, I'm going to do something that I have not done yet on my channel, ever. And if you stuck around this long, I'm guessing you probably deserve to hear this. Just saying. I've never done a giveaway. And I figured it's the new year. It's a new start for a lot of things in my life. It's time for some do-overs. Let's do some things right. People have been so generous to me in their thoughts and their actions and checking on me and just being genuine friends. I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude for these people that had it not been for this community, I would never have met. And they know who they are. I know who they are. And I love you guys so much. And your friendship means everything to me. So thank you. And as a way of saying thank you to the community that brought us together, I'm going to do a giveaway. Obviously, the Same rules apply, I guess. You know, I've never done this. Don't say giveaway. I'm guessing that brings out the trolls that are just looking for giveaways. You have to be 18. I will ship this anywhere. So, you know, anyone international, don't be hesitant to join this. And the only thing that I ask that you put in the comments is what your stitching friendships that you've made through this community mean. Now let me rephrase that. What your stitching friendships mean to you guys. You don't have to have met them through this community, because you could have had stitching friends all your life, and they'd be, you know, they'd be your besties. They're your person, your soulmates, whatever. So this is what I have to give away, and if you're interested in it, just leave me a comment telling me what your stitchy friends mean to you. They don't have to cross stitch. It could be any kind of fiber. Knitting, sewing, quilting, I don't care. It's all part of the same genre to me. So, here's who I have. If y'all are interested, comment. I'm going to give this until crap's falling. I'm going to give this until, today's what, the 9th, 10th? I don't even know what today is. I'm going to give it till my son's birthday, which is January 29th. And then I'll draw randomly. But you're not just getting the chart with this. This goes back to when you could actually buy decent stuff at Hobby Lobby. I've opened this, yes, obviously. Look at the markdowns. The chart has been opened. It's been fondled over. So, but has never been used. So you're going to get the chart. There's no fabric with it. But you're going to get all the threads on the cards. I would suggest making new cards because this is just paper. However, they are labeled and they are DMC. And then there's a huge bunch of extra. And also beads. They are labeled. So you know, you don't have to necessarily try to figure them out too much. And there's a beading needle. So, that's my offering up to the world for the new year. So far, to the Stitchy world. If you're interested, like I said, leave me a comment. What your Stitchy friends mean to you. And I will do a random draw near my son's birthday. It may not be on the 29th because it is his birthday. Don't know what we're doing yet, but it will be either that day or the day after. So, if you are interested in Mirabilia's Sleeping Beauty, and she is gorgeous, but I know I'm never going to stitch her, let me know. Until then, you guys have a good stitchy week. Hope to be back with you soon. Like I said, if you have any suggestions for keeping organized and planning and that kind of thing, let me know. If you have any spools of you want to send my way, let me know. I'll take them. So, y'all have a good week. Talk to y'all later. Bye.